continuation of the first Adam, right? We're in Genesis chapter 3, and we're in the first part, and it gives us a description of the serpent. And if you will, please take your time and read this chapter. I'm going to be talking about verse 1 through 7. And we see that we have the serpent. And if you recall in chapter 2, God had brought all the animals to Adam to name, right? And here we have one of the beasts of the fields, the serpent. And the serpent was subtil. Now, subtil is wicked or cunning or very mischief, right? And he is a beast of the field, so we know that he came from the dust of the earth, right? Now, he is speaking with the woman. Interesting how animals and the woman could speak to each other, but they could. He said unto her, Ye hath God said, right? So he's quoting God. Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So he's pointing out that God has said that all the trees, right? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. Okay, so God has informed the woman and the man to not eat of the tree in the middle of the garden, right? The tree of knowledge. Now, what is the serpent? What is his intentions, right? That God has contradicted himself. God has said, you shall eat of every tree, right? So he's trying to confuse the woman, and the woman in her nature here has said, no, that's not right. God said we, right, cannot eat of the tree of knowledge. We just can't do it. It's not for us, right? So he's trying to trick the woman pretty well. And here the serpent is going to continue as the serpent always continues. They always push and push and push until they get us in trouble. And the serpent said unto the woman, Yet shall not surely die. Okay, so what he's saying is, even if you eat of that apple or that fruit, not an apple, a fruit, you're not going to die. Right? Now, he's confused the woman. She's not going to die. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods. So, this ain't God talking. This is the serpent talking. This is his poison. This is his venom, knowing good and evil. Now, what are their eyes going to be open to? Knowing good and evil. Will they actually be able to know good and evil? No. God didn't say this. right? They're going to be under a delusion. So we see now the woman has a choice, and she's deceived. We all can be deceived. So I'm not just pointing out a woman. But the woman has a choice. She has a choice. Her nature is not like our nature. Remember, she's not cunning. She is all perfect in her ways. She has nothing wrong. There's no, violence or murdering or wickedness within her. Right? But here, she's going to do something abnormal. She's going to test. She's going to find out for herself. And see, that's where she's, she's going to fall short. Now, look what she does. She's going to see for herself. And in verse 6, she goes and she tests the tree. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, right? So it was pleasant. It looked like it wouldn't kill you. That it was pleasant to the eye, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. So, seemed like the serpent was telling the truth. She took of the fruit and did eat. So, who did she put her trust in? Her knowledge, right? And the word of the serpent. She took trust in her own knowledge and what the serpent has said. She did not trust in what God had said. And she gave it to her husband, and he did eat. All right. And he knew better. The scriptures tells us that he knew better. He just went along with it. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. They were naked before, and they were fine with it. You can see that in chapter 2 at the very last verse. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So they covered themselves. They were ashamed of themselves now. So the point of this is to find out what sin is. What is sin? Well, we can see from here, because this is the start of the fall of the man and the woman. And what did they trust in? Knowledge and cunningness, right? They trusted in the serpent, and they trusted in their own understanding, their own knowledge. And they did not put God above those things. God said it was wrong, but they put their trust in the serpent. And they did die later on. Death did come. So that was one of the things that I've learned. What is sin? When God is not the highest, when God is not all truthful, when God seems ridiculous, then you can know that sin's fixing to come. And so this chapter has got some more stuff to it. I'm just splitting it up, trying to make it short, and God bless you.